it's kind of in the I don't know if this is a thing in other countries. In the U.S., when we are in grade school or elementary school or gymnasium or whatever the hell you want to call it, we have at least once or twice projects to track our family history. Is that a thing in other countries? It's a pretty big deal here in the United States. And it's always seemed kind of weird to me. Like, I think maybe it's supposed to be a celebration of diversity or whatever, but really, for the most part, you just find out a lot of white people came in through Ellis Island and owned slaves, and like, I don't know, maybe that was just growing up in the Midwest, but yeah, never had it. That makes sense. It's kind of creepy. to be honest, it's kind of creepy and weird. Like, where you come from has importance. It helps to give you a perspective into what values you might have been taught are important. It gives you a sense of community, purpose, of a lot of things. But prioritizing that gets kinda problematic too. Yeah, well, that's cute. I had this project like 3 times in elementary school. One was like, talk to your grandparents about their childhood or what it was like to grow up during the Great Depression or whenever. And then I had to do family trees at least 2 times, and then I had to do it again in college. It's so weird. It feels very creepy to me. Like, let's see where you're from, because even if the teachers don't facilitate it, amongst the students, there's a little bit of weird competition and value judgments going around based on, oh, well, you're from so-and-so, huh? And then insensitive joke about that. It's just the inevitable consequence of those interactions. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's really insensitive having kids have to talk to their family and their class about problematic things. Like, here in the United States, it's like generally pretty bland, but for when I was going to school in Indiana, in our grade, maybe 2% of the student body were African American. Maybe 2%. 1 or 2%. So when we did these family history projects, you go far enough back, if everybody's family has stayed in a close enough area, you're closing in on a non-zero chance that so-and-so's family might have owned this other people's family. That's some weird energy to be putting kids through. That's some tough stuff to be facilitating. I did? Did I now? Yeah, as a kid, I wasn't really thinking about this. It was not something I was very aware of. There were worms up. I'm blind. Thank you. Hey! I guess we should swing by the museum. What else do I want to get done today? I guess cut down some trees. I'm really not being very, goal-based. Just going through the motions. Yeah. Argentina. The US is a little responsible for some unpleasant parts of Argentinian history. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, man. I quit going to public school in 10th grade. After 10th grade? Yeah, after 10th grade, I dropped out. I homeschooled myself and graduated early. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm pretty disconnected from a lot of things that are expected shared experiences of the high school experience in the United States, like prom or graduation or senior pranks. Actually, that's a lie. I did participate in my class's senior prank, even though I didn't go to the school, which was weird. Yeah. It's really interesting to be an insider of a culture, right? Of like American high school culture in the Midwest. And then take a couple years to step away from it, and then come back and look at it from someone who's now a bit of an outsider. And a lot of things that seem normal or harmless or unnoteworthy when you were in it, in the system, in the culture, become so much more apparent or vibrant in how problematic or dangerous or weird or strange or inconsistent they are. Yeah, I don't think we get a lot of the US schooling culture either. It's just habit at this point. And a lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it doesn't make sense. And the United States is such an insular country. It really is. That most people don't even consider that there's a different way to do things than the way that we do things. Okay, goodbye tree. I didn't want that wood anyway. That's fine. That's fine. Oh. Yeah, it can be super interesting engaging with our history here, but we got some dark history. Dark history that we like to pretend isn't so dark. Or is over and doesn't matter now. There's a lot of hand waving that happens here. A lot of like, but that was in the past. Yeah, nothing to worry about now. Let's not hold ourselves accountable for the decisions our ancestors made. Nah, let's just be like, and that was a bad thing. Slavery was bad, or the genocide of Native Americans was bad, or an accident, depending on who's teaching the class. But we're not doing that anymore, and like, everything's okay now. Like, it's not. It's not okay now. Still have some massive inequalities and inequities in this country. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's just... Oh, what do I want to do? Do I want to go mine? No, not really. Do I want to cut down wood? Not really. Guess I'll just clear shit here. Why not? It's not the most efficient way to be using my time. You know what? Give me that fishing rod. If I'm gonna be wasting my time, let's do it in the laziest way possible. Alright. Buckle up. Night before the first day of school, seniors break into a park or some other closed-out public space and get drunk high off their minds. The last day. Huh. So the night before the first day of school. No, we don't have that. That's cool. We have the opposite, basically. Where in the United States, like the last week of school doesn't matter. It is not at all important. We have senior pranks, which is like the last day or one of the last days that the senior class is in a school. They pull off some sort of prank. but most of the time they have to clean it up, so it's really not a very good prank. That sounds a hell of a lot better than a lot of our traditions. A lot of our traditions are fake, fake radicalism, really. Like, ah man, we're so edgy doing this thing on this day that's dedicated to doing this thing. Like Mischief Night is a pseudo holiday here in the United States, mostly on the East Coast. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, around there. I guess New York, New Jersey too. The night before Halloween is called Mischief Night. And this is a thing I think we stole from another country. Can't remember who. On Mischief Night, you go and trash other people's houses. That's it. You don't wear costumes. You just sneak around in the middle of the night and egg people's houses, or TP people's houses, or whatever else. It's a horrible holiday. I have participated in it as a kid. It's so weird. I mean, there's weird holidays all over the world, but... Now, I think depending on the school here in the United States, the traditions vary pretty differently. Like, I went to a school for pretty well-off kids. There were no wealth restrictions to going to my school because it was a public school, but it was in a very affluent part of the city, which is fairly affluent as far as that part of the country goes. Mostly for the sons and daughters of professors, business people, stuff like that. It's upper middle class, or lower upper class, that sort of thing. So it was all pretty sheltered and tame and... yeah, oh god. I remember, I hated the early 2000s because of the rise of, like, rap culture and all these fucking rich white kids throwing around racial slurs and singing stuff about life in gangs or the ghetto and dressing like, god, it's horrible. And it wasn't just where I was. This was a thing across the country. We're such a terrible country. No. Okay, I'm just gonna... I'm bad. Oh, there we go. Ugh, it's so gross and in bad taste now, and it was even worse then, but it was normalized. Oh. Yeah, we basically have the purge. Yeah, but it's a low-key purge. Like, nobody actually gets hurt. Well, most of the time nobody gets hurt. It's just purge for property damage, I guess. But it's still illegal, right? If you you get caught trashing somebody's house on Mischief Night, it's still very illegal, but kids do it anyway. And plenty of kids get caught doing it. One year, the last year I did it, I was 13, 14, something like that. And a whole bunch of us, by a whole bunch I mean dozens of us, trashed one person's house because they were very not well liked, because they were rich and had a snooty attitude and had a I'm better than you kind of vibe going on. So the Vox Populi that we were decided we would take justice in our own hands. Unsurprisingly, the police were called. So a whole bunch of 7th or 8th graders just running and hiding in bushes and jumping over fences and running through parks. at like midnight and 1 in the morning through a pretty wealthy part of town. Nobody got arrested. We all got away because the police officers in the town that I grew up in were not in the best shape. uh, I got up to some fun, youthful activities. Some things I'll talk about, some things I will not talk about.